Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Tech Packs Are Due, footwear design podcast where we just nerd out about every little detail about footwear from a design perspective. Before I get going, hey, like and subscribe to this page. I can't believe we're almost at 400. We were just at 300. We were just chasing 200. But like and subscribe, tell people about this page. Because that's how we all get this to be better, get this page bigger. We can keep talking about footwear design from a high level. With that said, also the views expressed on this podcast are my own and not the views of my employer, past, present, or future. We'd like to just say that at the beginning, just so everyone knows that this podcast is just for fun and for the love of the game, talking about shoes. Hey, I want to do a quick one today, an unboxing video, kind of talking about, I don't even know if I want to do this, but I got lucky on the sneakers app again, and I just was like, you know what, when stuff comes in, I'm just going to talk about it. So I have it with me right now, the Nike Mind, and we're going to talk about this. So we're going to dive into it from a design perspective about what this shoe, this slide actually is about. And we'll get through it. I can already feel the footwear designers out there being like, oh man, like, is this what we're going to talk about? I mean, hey, we got to take the good and the bad and whatever it is, the neutral, we got to talk about it all, right? So when a piece of footwear comes across our desk, we got to analyze it. We got to think about, when a piece of footwear comes across our desk, like, we can't just dismiss it, right? Like, I'm going to let everybody know right now, like, I'm not going to be, mean. I'm not going to be whatever. I'm going to give like an honest opinion, but at the same time, like, this is someone's work, like, we all want to be footwear designers. We all want to, this is why we're getting into it, is so we can do stuff like this. And I'm sure whoever was on this project had a blast, or Nike made you think they had a blast. But with that, let's get into it. Just let everyone know before we get into it. Also, we have sketch sessions. We have portfolio reviews on this page. We're going to keep doing stuff like that. That's what this page is about. How do we become better footwear designers? How do we get into the footwear industry, and interviewing people who are inside the industry and how they got in, whether that is design, development, color, material, whatever. That's basically it. But whether you're director role, we're trying to get some of those. Like, we're going to try to like dive in and get in that real perspective of what it is to be in footwear, lessons learned along the way, and then how to do it as well. So again, like and subscribe. We are going to make this page the best page we can possibly make it. Slowly but surely, I am getting the strength and energy to put this stuff out there. Cool. So let's talk about this. And, Nike, the Nike Mind, this is the 01. What's funny about this is like, like, does someone actually work at the mind science department at Nike? Like, if I were to go over there, is that something that exists? I don't know. Like, is there people who hold positions in the Nike mind science department? And if so, how stable and steady are those jobs? Because I'm just going to come straight out with it. Like, design wise, I think the design obviously comes across, but I think where we're all at right now is like, we question this, mind science, if you will. The thing I always think is funny about like stuff like this, and you know, I jokingly will say this to friends in footwear, is like, do you think this is going to show up again? I mean, think about the tech that Nike has brought out over the years, and those technologies that have continued or have not continued. I think about like auto lacing, stuff that doesn't get talked about very much, like hands free, or the one-handed. It's not hands free. It's like a one-handed, zip closure. Think about, I guess Flywire is in that bucket where it's like come and gone. It's like React can become anything. React was like in and out. Now it's like all ZoomX or Cushlan. Do we think Nike Mind? Do we think there's going to be an 1.0, 1.2, 1.001B? I really doubt it. Because I think we need to I don't think there's going to be, how do I say this? Like discoveries, or like the whole thing about this shoe is it touts that you're going to be able to get in the game mode by putting these on. By wearing them pre-game, you're going to get into this mindset of like sport. You're going to be transformed. You're going to be in game mode. You're going to be able to make decisions with like, I don't know, I don't think any data backing it up really, but anyway, so all that is to say, the whole thing that I'm bringing that up for is like, I see all these numbers like on this box, like I see like the numbers and like the little like tags, and I see like what looks like it could be a foot, but it's really just like the probes, and I can't tell you, like I'm not seeing it, and then I also think of like Nike with like the bionic shoe foot thing that they were doing that like wraps around your ankle or your shin. Just like stuff like that I'm like, is this going to show up again? Like, or those 3D printed, like hyper in the future, forms that were shoe-like that they didn't work, but they were trying to indicate that they're trying to go into the future. Does anyone think that like that's going to show up again? Or is it just a one-off thing? And I say that because like I think of like TV shows where I'm watching and I'm like, is this like a one-off episode? Does this carry into other things? Like I think The Office, like it built on itself sometimes, like, but it didn't, and it did. Like Friends, those are a lot of like one-off episodes that like things never get referenced ever again. Seinfeld is the same, where like they don't reference what had happened in the past. They just keep like barreling ahead into the future. And so I just wonder, like, what is this going to be? Is this going to be something that carries, or is it not? They tried the auto lacing. They put it on the shelf. Free has got put on the shelf again. Like the Nike Joyride, I think is a interesting thing. Like that didn't do anything. We had like the beads, and it's like, oh, there's this cushioning from Nike. They did it once, shelved it. Like I don't know, but I think it's high time we. But I'm asking the question, right? Because I think again, like anytime like a piece of footwear slides across your desk, like questions come up. You ask them. You don't have the answers, obviously. I don't have answers, but I tend to lean into the camp where like this is going to be a one-off. Like they're going to put this out one time. It's cool. It makes you think, and then nothing. I actually since we're on this subject, when I was at, and I'll unbox it in a second, but when I was at Brooks, like we were in innovation, and we thought like, like I wonder if there's like a way we could put something in the shoe that would like probe you to want to go like run, 5K. You get your run in every day. Like we actually thought like, I wonder if there's proprioceptive things that like you could put inside a shoe that would like prod you out the door. Somehow we didn't end up pursuing it, and maybe it's lack of resources. We didn't end up pursuing that. But this is kind of like lands in the same thing where like you wonder, like I know the feet, and there are pressure points in the feet, and people get feet massages and they do all these things. Adi had the massaging slide, and I feel like Nike's been like kind of trying to get into the slide game, like ever so slightly. Like, Adidas is like hard in the paint right now, or they were with like the Yeezy slide. They were kind of like winning the day. Then like Hoka is bringing out a slide, and Puma brought out the Nitro slide, and like everyone's just trying to like eat into the slide game. I just feel like Nike like tried with like, they had one that looked like kind of like the Air Force. They had one that kind of looked like, I don't know, like geometric, that had been like carved and stuff. And I feel like nothing was landing. This is like the first one where I think they like put enough behind it where I think it lands, because these things sold out fast. Like, I can talk whatever I want to talk about, whether or not this is going to be a future technology that they use or not. But it landed, their marketing machine, and people were like, yo, I'm going to get the Nike Mind Slide. It's $95. It's a Nike product. It looks really good, really finished. Bang, bang, boom. Anything under the $100 range, and if Nike's doing it and making it look really awesome, it's going to sell. It's going to be awesome. And, there's going to be resellers out the door that are going to be like, oh, like, this is easy resell as well. So like there was all of those things, like all those sides kind of jumping on Nike in general. Is like the sportswear brand. And it actually sounds cool. Like whether or not it continues into the future is whatever, but does it sound cool? Yeah. Does it look cool? Yeah. Those are the recipe for Nike success. And again, I think we need a successful Nike in the world. That's just how I feel about it. All right, I'm going to dive in. So more mind stuff, and when I was thinking about this, too, I saw this little chart and I'm like, yeah, it kind of looks foot-like and all this stuff. Like this is something like, whether or not it's an actual map that they grabbed, like screen grabbed or something, it's whatever. The finished quality is really nice. But this is something I literally could have just done. Like anyone could have just done in, Procreate or Photoshop. And it made this as a graphic. I mean, it's really cool. Don't get me wrong. I love foot map, pressure maps and stuff like that. But I could have done it, and they made it holographic. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that on camera, but it's all special and nice. Nike does it, man. They just have access to like all this stuff, which again, like most of us footwear designers, we're going to go work at smaller brands, which is actually not true. I think you have like a 50-50 chance, right? Like you could go work at Nike, but there's other brands out there that I feel like there's almost 50-50 split of jobs outside Nike and jobs inside Nike. So like, and if you're in Portland, I mean, hey, you probably have a good shot as well. All right, jumping in. Nike's double wrapping everything. And now we've all seen this, right? Take out this guy. All right. First thing I'm going to pull out, I'm going to call out the tag, which I think is interesting. Like, I wonder if this is actually how it's made. Um, like I wonder. I'll get into that in a second. But the graphics cool, just kind of a breakdown. Don't give it to babies. I think I hope most people know what that means. But man, I tell you what, like just all the little digital stuff. I mean, it's cool. It's a nice breakup of space on the tag. But like all these little digital or verbiage, Nike, Mind, 30 NB, 33B, 551, 222. That's like, I mean, man, this could be someone's like birthday. Like, what are we doing? All right. So let's get into it. I will say, first and foremost, color on point. I love this. It's not quite red. It's not pink. Hold on. Solar red. Why not? Solar red and chrome hyper crimson. Hyper crimson, solar red. Really cool. I just want to say, like, Nike's finish quality on their product is phenomenal. And then I say that, and then I notice all these glue marks that are like in the shot. There's glue marks kind of everywhere. There's glue coming off the logo. Kind of takes a little bit of the mystery out of the situation. Someone's silver Sharpie mark is on the bottom from when they were, teeing this up on the factory line. Not the best. A little hair, but okay. Be that as it may, here is the Mind nodes. And if you do press them, you can see them come out when you're walking. You're going to feel that. For sure you're going to feel that when you put pressure down. Of course, what would a Nike be without a waffle? Gotta have a waffle somewhere. And I think my favorite thing about this is the top they're doing a really good job. If you look at the Mind 002, you look at the other products in this line of shoes that they're bringing out, the slides and the shoes, they're really doing a good job at this, like perf. Nike's just really good at like the finish, and like that's just, I mean, it reads high quality. You get what you pay for a little bit when you get Nike, and I think we all kind of recognize that now, that Nike is like, just like a high end fashion brand. They're not like it's not like the old days. They're doing like kind of not goofy stuff, but like, the bigger graphics and stuff. Nike's pretty tight now, like, for sure. Whatever you think about the marketing is whatever. I think there's a reason. The reason this sells is because the design is tight. Like, it looks good. It looks comfy. It looks squishy. It's hitting all of those, slide cushion, relaxation vibes. I mean, it looks like a spa day shoe. It looks like something that you're putting on when you're at the all-inclusive in Cancun. It looks like that kind of thing. This is what you would wear in that situation. You just be kicking it. Or, the guys in the locker room, I guess, that are trying to focus before they suit up and play professional sports. I don't know, but they've done their work here to get like some nice stuff. And again, the finish quality is always so nice. I don't know what foam they're using for this, but feels plush. But let's hit up on some of the design cues. So I don't know the necessity for a dot texture on the side here. But I do like this ridge line. Kind of nice little ridge line that gives a little shadow. I love these little pillar lines that are just super soft. Does make me wonder if this was done in like a gravity sketch situation. I love how the ridge line ties right in to the line around the front of the shoe. You're getting kind of like I don't know, like kind of looks like a cupcake. Kind of looks spongy, right? Love the integration of, and you can tell it's designed, right? So the integration of the ventilation is in the negative of the hills. It's in the valleys. So pushing things in that direction, they're doing that right. And not really trying to make the lateral side look any highly structured, but it's definitely where the ventilation is. You're getting that little bit on the top as well, which is where most heat leaves the foot. You're getting that on the top. I love this. I don't know what this is, a little single layer, little liner action. But it's obviously been pressed, it's been debossed and then punched. The holes look really good, clean. And then it's laminated onto the foam. They give a nice little landing. If you look on the inside, they give a nice little landing for the tongue, as it were. And then, a nice little home inside there for the nodes to interact with your foot in a way that I don't know, maybe puts you in the zone. Like it probably doesn't, right? So whatever. But if you are going to be repping these around, it's cool. I wonder how far forward I have to like push to see it. Here, I'm going to push this one and see if you can see it. Which one was that? I can't tell. Let's try this one. Oh, there we are. Yep, you see it. We see it. It's pretty cool. Now, things that I am interested in seeing down the road with this. What are these nubs going to do as they wear? That is the question. Are they glued on to the insole here is glued in. There's no doubt about that. That is stuck. That's not coming out. And so it feels like they glued in the nodes to the bottom. And I'm telling you, someone's going to go running in these. I show speed is going to be like running, like a mile in these or something. He's going to be trying to do a full sprint or like a NFL combine in the Nike Mind slide. And one of these nubs is going to blow out. I do wonder if we can't really see up in there. I'm trying to see if I can give a little thing, and I'm trying to see, but it really does look like these little nodes are just straight glued onto the back. And so it does make me wonder, I wonder if this backside is finished in a way that water can't get through. I mean, someone's going to splash through a puddle in these. Someone's going to do it. Someone's going to do all the things that we don't think of. They're going to take it to a Travis Scott concert and jump in the mud. Someone's going to, it's going to happen. That's just what people do with shoes. They take them to the extremes into scenarios that they probably weren't meant for. And in case you ever question if this is a Nike shoe, swoosh, swoosh, Swoosh. Swoosh. Nike. Oh, wait, on the inside. Swoosh. Wait, on the bottom. Swoosh. And baby swoosh. So no shortage of it saying Nike Mind or Nike Mind Science. No shortage of branding here. You are getting the full thing on a slide. And if that's not enough, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a bunch of Nikes on there. You got another shoe on the other foot. It's got just as many swooshes on them. So you got 10 swooshes on your foot when you're going to go do your relaxation. You know who's giving you the positive vibes. But overall, like I gotta say I dig the aesthetic. I dig that they're trying to like put something into a slide other than just, foam and putting it on your foot. I love the finish quality. I think, it's better than what we've seen from, competitors. I love the fabric touches where it's at. This liner, I think, is what like kind of elevates it. I think everyone's going to want this look. I think it's going to color block well. We've seen the gray, we've seen the black. And I think, it's just like intriguing, right? Like Nike does that. They are able to intrigue us. Think about all the times where you're walking barefoot. If you walk into like nice, if you're on the sand, you're on the beach, you're walking on these smooth, smoothed out rocks that have been tumbled over by the ocean. You think about all these things. Think about like those enjoyable experiences that you have when you're walking barefoot. I don't know, maybe that has some influence here, but they're definitely, it's a stretch to say that these nodes are going to be doing anything for you. But hey, if you get these and you're walking and you're feeling great because your mind's put at ease because your foot is being pushed in certain directions, whatever. And I just think about this, and I'll leave that here since I've already gone 30 minutes talking about the Mind Slide. There's different feet. There's all kinds of different types of pressure. This is a very generalist thing. This is a map. And I'm just wondering, like, are they considering all different foot types and what those foot types, what nodes they're going to be activating? Are there foot types where they're going to be like, hey, don't buy this because we don't want to activate that part of your foot if your foot is shaped this way? Or I don't know. We're going down the rabbit hole, but like when you present something like this, like that's the questions that people start to ask. I mean, and some people just take it, and they just say, okay, cool. Like Nike's giving us a slide and that's all we should really do. But when you're giving us nodes, and I think when you're out designing, like think about this, when you're putting pen to paper, you're designing stuff. If you're putting stuff like this out, like people are going to ask the question, like, what is this doing? And why is it doing this? And is it actually going to deliver on the thing that you're saying it's going to deliver? I don't know. I think you can go this route if you want to. I actually just think it's cool that Nike just put this out. That's probably like a whole conversation as well. Like, who knows if like there's lawsuit pressure at some point because someone did not feel at ease when wearing this shoe or whatever it is. Nike's protected. I would not try that. But what I am saying is when you do something like this, like you better bring it, and expect the questions to come. And I'm sure they do because they're the biggest sportswear brand in the world. And maybe they don't even answer it because it's like, hey, we just put out this product. You can enjoy it or not. Point is like, is this going to work for everybody? Is this going to work for nobody? I saw wear testers he said, like, if I put this slide on, my feet are going to hurt all the time. And they do. Um, and I hear some people saying like, yeah, if I put this on, I'm not going to be at ease. I'm going to be the least at ease. So, you know, try them on. That's what you're going to do. But at the end of the day, design wise, looks great to me. I think someone did it. Nike's always doing really good optimization. The mat looks good. Textures on this look good. Everything feels soft. Each little jewel Nike is premium and done well, except for the one that's kind of wobbly on the side. I don't know. This is what we do on Tech Packs Review. We look at this stuff. I just think the footprint and like the wobbly side and like all this stuff. I don't know. Overall, it's fun. It's fun. I think it's going to live and die right here in my hands. But anyway, that's our show. That's the breakdown of this slide. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Like and subscribe to the page. We're always going to be looking at footwear, breaking it down, especially the intriguing ones. Maybe they are intriguing, maybe they are not intriguing. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. The only footwear design podcast where we dive in. Like and subscribe to the page. Thank you for watching. I don't know if this did anything for anybody or anything. You might not have made it this far and you don't care. Anyway, off of that shoe review, I am going to be opening up, looking for that intern or whatever co-host. We need something to keep this co-host or whatever. I'm going to figure it out as I go. We're going to keep this show rolling and keep it looking good, fresh, and give the people what they want. All right. See you next time at Tech Packs We Do. All right. Bye. You know, a lot of times Nike will just be like, hey, look, like we designed this thing. And I think we'll be like, whoa, okay, well, I did not want this thing. Like,